Death came from above without warning. Silent wings folding into a stoop, talons like forged steel ripping through flesh and bone before the prey even registered the shadow. This was the reality of New Zealand's South Island for hundreds of thousands of years, where the skies belonged to Haast's eagle, Hieratus morai, the most massive and lethal raptor ever to take flight. A bird capable of lifting prey 10 times its own weight, a predator that almost certainly viewed early humans as targets of opportunity, and whose extinction unfolded in brutal synchrony with the collapse of the very giants it was built to kill. New Zealand before human arrival was an evolutionary anomaly, an archipelago so remote that no land mammals ever reached it except bats. No deer, no pigs, no cats, no dogs. Nothing to fill the mammalian predator niche. Instead, the top position went to a bird, one that ballooned in size over roughly 2 million years into something unrecognizable from its modest Australian ancestors. Adult females weighed between 10 and 18 kilograms, with the best supported average sitting around 14 to 15 kilograms. Exceptional specimens likely pushed higher. That made them 30 to 40% heavier than the modern harpy eagle, the current record holder among living raptors. Males were noticeably smaller, 9 to 12 kilograms. Wingspan ranged from 2.6 to nearly 3 meters in the largest females, broad, rounded wings built for power and maneuverability inside thick forest and scrub rather than long-distance gliding. Standing on the ground, the bird reached close to 90 centimeters at the shoulder. Total length from beak tip to tail could hit 1.4 meters. The killing tools were disproportionate even to that frame. The rear talon, hallux, curved to lengths of 9 to 11 centimeters in the biggest individuals, longer than a Bengal tiger's claw and thicker than any living eagle's. The 3 forward talons ranged 5 to 7.5 centimeters, forming a 4-pronged vise designed to penetrate hide, muscle, and pelvis in one strike. The beak was unusually massive for a raptor, thick at the base, deeply hooked, and reinforced for bone-crushing bites. Studies of bite force proxies place it well above the harpy eagle's already formidable output. This combination let the bird function as both classic aerial predator and opportunistic bone breaker, much like a vulture crossed with a harpy on steroids. Its staple prey was the moa family, 9 species of flightless giants, the largest of which, Dinornis robustus and Dinornis novazelandiae, reached 3 to 3.6 meters tall and 200 to 250 kilograms, 10 to 15 times the eagle's body mass. Yet the eagle hunted them as routine business. Perched on emergent trees, rocky promontories, or cliff edges, it scanned forest clearings and river flats. When a moa wandered into range, the eagle folded its wings and dropped, reaching speeds estimated at 80 kilometers per hour or more in the final plunge. One foot typically struck the hindquarters or lower back to anchor and unbalance. The second foot drove talons into the pelvis or upper thigh, often puncturing the abdominal cavity or severing major vessels. A follow-up bite crushed the neck or base of the skull. The moa usually collapsed within seconds. Fossil sites across the South Island, Pyramid Valley, Takaka, Waikari, and others, yield moa bones bearing exactly those wounds. Deep, paired punctures 5 to 7 centimeters apart in the pelvic girdle, matching the eagle's talon spread, sometimes with associated fractures from the impact force. In some accumulations, 10 to 15% of adult moa show these lethal marks. The pattern is consistent enough that paleontologists consider it diagnostic of Haast's eagle predation rather than post-mortem scavenging. This level of specialization came at a cost. Genetic analysis shows the eagle descended from the little eagle, Hieratus morphnoides, a 1-kilogram Australian species. In under 2 million years, it underwent one of the fastest body size increases recorded in birds, gigantism driven by abundant large prey and zero competition from mammalian carnivores. But extreme size also meant extreme dependence. Large territories, low population density, probably fewer than 1,000 breeding pairs archipelago-wide, slow maturation, and low reproductive output. A bird that needed 200 kilograms kills to thrive had almost no fallback when those kills disappeared. The tipping point arrived with people. Polynesian voyagers, the direct ancestors of Maori, landed around 1280 to 1300 AD. They arrived with sophisticated horticulture, dogs, the Pacific rat, and a highly effective toolkit for hunting large flightless birds: snares, spears, clubs, fire drives, and mass butchery sites. Moa populations, already naturally low density and slow to recover from losses, crashed within 100 to 150 years. By the early 1400s, most Moa species were gone or reduced to tiny remnants. The last reliable dates cluster around 1440 to 1500 AD. Haast's eagle followed almost immediately. Without Moa, it had nothing substantial to eat. Smaller birds, juvenile Moa, seals, or carrion could not sustain it long term. Its specialized morphology, massive talons useless for quick small prey capture, heavy build unsuited to prolonged pursuit, left no graceful exit strategy. Radiocarbon dates on eagle bones from archaeological sites placed the last individuals in the same narrow window, roughly 1400 to 1500 AD. The species winked out within a century or two of first human contact. Maori oral histories carry the memory forward under names like Puakai, Hokioi, or Te Puakai. The stories describe a gigantic bird of mountain forests, often red, black, and white, that descended on villages, snatched children and adults, carried them to high nests, and devoured them. Some accounts say it targeted lone travelers or women gathering food. Others claim warriors tried to hunt it and failed. While no human skeleton has turned up with convincing talon punctures, the biology is unambiguous. A raptor routinely killing 200-kilogram prey would have found a 25 to 50-kilogram human child or small adult trivial to lift and dispatch. Early Maori almost certainly lost people to it, and the fear embedded in those stories is visceral enough to survive 6 centuries. Today, the bird exists only in bones, museum mounts, and digital reconstructions. Yet it refuses to stay buried. The human snatching eagle angle, biologically credible, culturally documented, visually horrifying, spreads rapidly online. It feeds a modern appetite for prehistoric monsters that feel plausibly real, especially in an era when even modest-sized raptors, crowned eagles, martial eagles, wedgetails, occasionally make headlines for attacking people or livestock. De-extinction conversations have already begun. Colossal Biosciences and Nai Tahu announced in 2025 a formal Maori-led program to bring back several Moa species using ancient DNA, CRISPR editing, and emu/chicken surrogates, with initial embryos targeted for the early 2000s and 30s and viable birds hoped for later in the decade. If Moa herds are re-established in fenced sanctuaries, the ecological niche Haast's eagle once occupied would partially reopen. Sequencing its genome from well-preserved bones is feasible now. Inserting key gigantism and predation traits into a living eagle relative is no longer science fiction. Whether anyone would release such a bird, or whether it should be, is another question entirely. A 15-kilogram raptor built to drop 200-kilogram prey into New Zealand's current forests, farmland, and suburbs would be an ecological grenade. For the moment, Haast's eagle remains extinct, a shadow printed into South Island limestone, a warning carved into Maori memory, and a ghost that still makes people look up at large birds circling overhead. Nature rarely lets an apex predator die quietly. When it does, the silence that follows is louder than any screech it ever made. If stories like this, of vanished killers that once ruled the skies and could have carried off your ancestors, keep you up at night, or make you hit replay, then hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on notifications so you never miss the next extinct nightmare we drag back into the light. Your support keeps these deep dives coming. More giants, more horrors, more truths buried in bone. Subscribe today, and let's keep hunting the past together.